Okay, so I think my mind's a little bit clearer now, and I just wanted to respond to, well, not really responding to comments per se. I mean, it's not like I'm being challenged by anyone or whatever, but um, so I saw Dark Magician's comment. I saw Alex Ealer's comment, a couple of comments actually, and I decided to take a look, scrolling through my videos, looking at the thumbnails, and I went back and looked at, the thumbnail of, several of the videos, like, leading up to my, the ending of my longest streak. And I noticed a definite difference between, like, how I look now and how I was back then. And, thinking back to my mindset, how I was looking at the world back then. And it's like, there was a definite lack of obsession with certain things that I'm obsessed with now. And, it's like, Dark Magician, Giza, Alex, all these other folks have been giving me solid advice. Finally, like, it started clicking a little bit, hearing the same stuff from my sister. And, maybe it's just because I'm impatient, I want results right now. Maybe it's, the fact that if I hear it from a girl about, this is how girls think, it just kind of, like, settles in more. I don't know what it is, but I've also had this problem of, hearing great advice, being given great guidance, and just not wanting to listen to it until I've gone through and learn things the hard way. By and large, it's kind of like taking the red pill. That whole idea, like, for a lot of us, it's like you got to go through some traumatic experience. You got to, fall flat in your face. Whether it's a breakup or getting rejected by some girl, led on, teased, cheated on, whatever the case may be. And then when you go through that whole experience, that's when you want to start learning about these things. And you start looking things up, and it doesn't matter if 1,000 people told you beforehand, what's up, but you're not gonna listen until that bad stuff happens, and you gotta learn things the hard way. And so I can put it there. And let's see, what time is it? It's pretty late. It's actually almost 2 a.m. I end up doing all these, like, recordings way too late, but hopefully I'm not. I'm kind of waking people up. So I'm all sitting here talking, But anyways, so yeah, it's like, I had a definite lack of obsession with these sort of things. I didn't care about this stuff. It was like I was like Dark Magicians has said, Giza said, others said, focusing on yourself. I was focused on myself. I was focused on my self development. I was focused on figuring out how I think and what I need to change about myself in order to, get over those obstacles and accomplish things in my life. And it's like, I lost that focus. I lost that concern with those sorts of things. And, you know, I used to, like, back then I looked at my life as a sort of project I was working on. That was the big thing. My life was my project, was my focus, was my goal. And I was, like, building up myself. And, I suppose the shift kind of started last semester. It's like the one-eyed girl and her new boyfriend or whatever. Finding out about that and then having to fight with that, and somehow I honestly think it was because it was a do or die situation with my academics. It's either A, you focus on your classes and at least pass them, or else this whole these last 10 years will be for nothing. They'll be just gone. And because I was under that sort of that pressure, I was able to force myself. I was forced by external circumstances to not get obsessed about these other things. But it's like once I passed those classes into this next semester, you know, maybe part of me kind of felt like, okay, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to struggle. I don't have to focus. I don't have to, etc., etc. And it's not over. I have to. So, all that, highfalutin stuff being said, what am I going to do differently? Well, I think one thing I want to do before I record the next video, which, I don't know when that'll be. I probably should set, some significant amount of time between this video and the next one. But I want to go running. I want to go run at least 3 miles, and I want to start doing that for one thing. I've dropped a significant amount of weight over the last few weeks. Put on a little bit of it, I guess, again. But that's something I want to do. I need to get myself out of the house. I need to be going, being productive, moving. And tomorrow I'm gonna go fencing. I'm gonna make myself go do that. I need a change of routine. I need to change up my day-to-day, path, because typically what I end up doing here is sitting in my room and just obsessing over stuff that really shouldn't matter. It has nothing to do with my own self-development. It has to do with somebody else and their life choices. And, everything's going to change, everything's going to get better, am I going to have a, second chance, or whatever that case may be. And it's like foolish and stupid of me to do that kind of stuff. Especially when I have folks taking time out of their days to give me solid advice, to watch, the videos of me talking about my life, which my life isn't really much. We're not talking about me being like Elon Musk, and if he had a YouTube channel, was standing up there, recording something, he'd be talking about, going to Mars, or fighting climate change or something like that, something really truly important and world changing and society changing and species saving and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, what am I doing? I'm making videos where I'm talking about my life, and so much of it boils down to me complaining about my life. Things I don't have, things I don't like, the mistakes I made and how I regret that, etc., etc. It's not really much, in terms of useful content, So, work on my physique, because I can see immediate results in that, and they'll show me perhaps, my ability to change my life. And I'm going to study some more, and fencing, and continue to read The Rational Male. Because a lot of stuff I'm seeing there, as I get further, and it's like I'm kind of confronting certain issues I've had, and even memories and such that I have that I haven't really been wanting to face, So, it's kind of the cold hard truth and the uncomfortable truth, and something needs to change about myself. So, anywho, I'm really not necessarily of the opinion that people get annoyed with me for being emo, that they're necessarily wrong, or they just can't deal with it. It really depends. Because if there are folks that have been coming around my channel and like I said, taking time out of their day and giving me advice and supporting me and whatnot, then it's like, if they do get annoyed at me being emo and complaining and whining and all that, then it's kind of like they at least tried to help me, and if they're getting annoyed, then to a significant extent, I think they have a right in that sense. But one thing when I realized I went out earlier to get some food, and I think it was when I was either at the restaurant waiting for them to make my tacos, or that I'd ordered, or I was walking back, but I realized that it's another point I wanted to make, other than the first half, which I really haven't organized these videos as of late. It's just been me rambling, but the first half was just me kind of I guess reflecting on the previous mindset when I was actually succeeding at NOFAP versus the way I am now, and just kind of I guess you could say, doing a meta-analysis of comments and my responses and things of that nature. But the second half, I wanted to talk about this sort of idea I had that it's like, you see me here, I'm wearing this. This is my latest straight edge worldwide windbreaker. It's the winter camo, so it's kind of like it's black, gray, and white. It's really nice. Definitely go with my tech where I look, but or be like a straight edge tech where I look sort of thing. But um, I was thinking like I'm straight edge, right? I claim that. I claim edge, and beyond the whole alcohol, tobacco, drugs rejection, and I guess by extension promiscuity rejection. It's like so much of it is about responsible living and like really facing the cold hard truths of life, not running away from them, and actually allowing that experience of being uncomfortable and so on affect you such that you make improvements in your life. And I really I realized that that I'm not really being straight edge. I mean, I am straight edge. I would say per se that I've broken edge in the sort of the legalistic sense of the word. But in terms of the spirit of straight edge, like if I'm not on NOFAP, then I'm really not like in the spirit of straight edge. I'm kind of being a hypocrite, and I'm not living for a higher purpose or meaning, and I really need to do that. That's so much of what straight edge is about for me. It's like you're not drowning yourself in alcohol, tobacco, drugs. You're not drowning yourself in promiscuity. You're not drowning yourself in sort of filth in a sense. You're trying to rise above. You're trying to live for something greater. You're really wanting to grasp, the secret force of the world and master it. And you're not going to be doing that, besides the whole alcohol, tobacco, drugs thing. So you're not going to be doing that if you're fapping or if you're, using your sexual force in immoral ways. You're not going to be living up to the spirit of it. And of course there's the magic aspect of things where it says like basically that if you're not using that sexual force for some sort of higher goal or so, you're wasting it. But I need to re-grasp that path and rise above. Rise above obsession over some girl or how she feels about me, or if she has a boyfriend or not, or if they've done it, or whatever the case may be. Even rising above like concern with grades. I mean, like I need to learn the material such that even if I do remain a C student, that I have a better grasp of it than somebody who somehow found a way to cheat or hack the system and get those good marks, even though when they go in for the interview they don't know anything about the material. They can't answer basic engineering questions. I need to do that, and I need to get to the point where I'm not saying I need to. I need to get to the point where I say I did, and here's what happened. So that being said, I think my immediate thing right now to do is to clean my room, organize things, and then go about reading some more, and then probably waiting for a little bit before I go running, because I like to be at a reasonable hour, and maybe 5 a.m. ish if I can go out and do that. Doing something like that is what's gonna be necessary. So, I gotta have a feeling like that I went out and I did something and I wasn't fapping and I accomplished something, that sort of deal, and get the ball rolling. And I need to start listening to all this advice that's been given to me and actually act on it. So, anywho, folks, thanks for sticking around and actually caring. So, really appreciate it. See you folks around. Bye.